Hi everyone and welcome to a Theme Park Worldwide news update. Now I mentioned just a couple of days ago that there's been so much theme park news over the past week, everything from new Disney announcements that were at the D23 Expo through to new roller coasters. I'm going to be covering all of those in the latest news updates here on the channel, so stay tuned over the next couple of weeks for dedicated videos for all of these new rides and attractions with a full analysis and of course my thoughts on these projects as well. Now if you haven't already, make sure you check out the previous news update to this one. It was uploaded a couple of days ago on the channel, and in that one I was talking all about two new Cars themed rides that are going to be coming to Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World as part of the biggest expansion ever to the park. Unfortunately, it does mean losing the iconic Rivers of America, including the Liberty Bell Riverboat and Tom Sawyer Island. So we also talk about my thoughts on the removal of those as well to make way for these two new attractions, and you can see that already online here on the channel. I'd love you to go and give that a watch. But now this is like the second part of that big announcement for Magic Kingdom, because this is something that a lot of us Disney fans have wanted for a very long time, and finally Disney are going to be making this happen. Villains Land is going to be coming to Magic Kingdom. Now this is also going to be taking up some of the area that is now currently home to the Rivers of America, and also behind the Haunted Mansion, it seems, from rumours as well. So all we know is that the river's going to be closing to make way for this big expansion. You got the two Cars rides, but also Villains Land that is going to be coming in, and I've got to say I am very excited for this. Now they revealed a logo at D23 just last week, which is that huge Disney Expo where all of these different announcements were made, and then they also have shared a detailed concept art for what they envision this area is going to look like as well. Now there's no models or exact details yet on what they're going to be building. This is just a very fancy piece of concept art, so really we've got to take it with a pinch of salt. Yeah, this is like the ideas that they want to do, but necessarily it's not going to look identical to this, and if it does look identical, then blimey, Imagineering have got a big job on their hands, because this concept art looks awesome. So yeah, just to put this into perspective again where this is going to be, it's in the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World. The park opened back in 1971. It's the busiest theme park anywhere in the world, and it desperately needs new rides, attractions and investment going into the park, so it is very positive to see new things coming in. Yes, it's a shame that it's taken up some of the existing areas, but you know what, this Villains Land looks like it's going to be awesome. Here's a look then at the logo, or at least a first look at a logo for Villains Land at the Magic Kingdom. Quite basic, not really loads to see from that other than a nice fancy font, but still, just to actually finally see that Villains with Magic Kingdom on there, it's just something that's been rumoured for so long, so it's so nice that Disney have made it official, and this is definitely going to be happening at some point in the near future. I say in the near future, we could be looking, you know, quite a number of years from now before this is actually built and open, ready for us to experience, but still they are going to be breaking ground next year on these projects, and as Josh D'Amaro said at the D23 Expo, you know, Earth is moving. I don't think it is quite yet, but it looks like they're going to be moving a lot faster than some of the projects like Tron and other things that have took so long at the Disney parks over the past few years. But yes, Villains Land looks like it's going to be awesome. Should we take a look at this detailed concept art? And actually, just before we do, I've got my own villain, it seems, here at the studio. A lot of you noticed on the past news update there was a big spider that was running across our mug shelf just over to the side there. I have managed to find the spider and remove him here from the studio, but the best thing is I didn't even notice that he was there until after. I didn't even notice during the editing when I was putting it all together and the images on. It took you guys commenting for me to notice, and yeah, here's me just recording the update, not really knowing what's going on the shelves behind, and there was this massive spider that came up the side, and when I came into here and found him after I saw all of your comments, he was huge. It's like one of the biggest spiders I've ever seen in the UK, so thanks for pointing it out, guys. Just so you know, he has been safely removed from here. But yeah, Villains Land, look at this concept art. It looks absolutely amazing. Now straight away in this beautiful piece of art you can see rock work, buildings, water. You can see the castle up there on the hill, the Forbidden Mountain from Maleficent, and of course the Maleficent dragon on there too. I mean, there's so much going on with this, and just the overall visual of the area looks stunning. When we first saw concept art for Pandora, the world of Avatar at Disney's Animal Kingdom, I remember looking at that concept art and thinking, there's no way it's going to look anything like that. But it does. When Pandora opened at Animal Kingdom, I was blown away with how close it was to the concept art and the level of detail. It was the same with Radiator Springs, actually, over at Disney California Adventure. Seeing that concept art, and it is matching it perfect. So I'm really hoping that we do see it looking something like this. I'm not saying that it's going to be identical, but still, you know, Disney can do this. And I'm really hoping that with the competition coming from Universal Epic Universe, we're going to see Disney really wanting to ramp things up, and it certainly looks like it with this concept art that we can see just here. So straight away, the area, it's full of like this obscure shaped rock work, waterfalls. It looks like there's going to be some underground sections, lots of water effects, and there's just lots going on. You can see like the little buildings, like a little town at the back, and like I say, you've got the Forbidden Mountain from Maleficent there, with the castle up on the top. I'd expect that to be forced perspective, something that Disney are fantastic at, but still, that's really exciting to see that in the concept art there, and the dragon as well. Now, they did state that there's actually going to be 2 major attractions that are going to be part of Villains Land, and that's really exciting to hear. When you look at this concept art, obviously, you know, we can take this still with a pinch of salt, but there is track for what looks like 2 different roller coasters on there. Of course, this is very early stages to this concept. Things can change, and it doesn't directly mean, you know, this is what it's going to look like. But based on what we can see, you can see a roller coaster in the distance, and you can also see what looks like a different type of coaster underneath. Now, again, that could just be the person who's put the concept art together using kind of images for roller coaster track and not really thinking about it, and maybe there'll be one coaster. But I just find it quite weird how there's 2 distinctly different looking roller coasters. Let's start off by zooming in and looking at this one further back. So this looks like a heavily themed track with possibly wooden beams underneath and potentially inversions. I mean, that isn't obviously going to be the layout there, it's just a quick drawing, but still, they've obviously got an idea in mind. Could we be seeing a big thrill coaster come to Magic Kingdom? I mean, Disney are starting to ramp up the thrills a bit more now, especially with Tron Light Cycle Run, so maybe we could be seeing something with inversions in Magic Kingdom. That'd be fantastic. Of course, Disneyland Paris has got inversions on a few of their rides, so it'd be interesting to see if that's something that gets brought to the Magic Kingdom, because obviously as it stands at the moment, there's no ride that takes you upside down within Magic Kingdom itself. Now, there's been all sorts of rumours and speculation. I saw someone think that it could be like RMC track, Rocky Mountain Construction. Can you imagine an RMC hybrid in Magic? You never know, anything's possible, and it's clear that they do want to up the game when it comes to building some bigger rides. I think that is to compete with Universal and Epic Universe as well. So very interesting. Early stages yet. I'm not looking too far into what manufacturer it's going to be, but it does look like we're going to be seeing a big coaster at the back. In terms of would they go for like a wooden coaster or a hybrid, I doubt it, because obviously Disney like their rides to be, you know, open and operating for really long hours, and, you know, a wooden coaster or RMCs, they do take a lot of maintenance. But still, you know, I wouldn't rule it out, but I just think it's unlikely. But still, who knows? I could be eating my own words in a few years' time. Let's then look at the second coaster, or what looks to be a different coaster. Like I say, for all we know, this just could be the person who's done the concept art, using different images, putting them together, and this is all one ride. But it definitely looks like a second coaster right at the bottom. And if we zoom in on that, you can see what looks like a steel track, possibly like Vekoma track there. Obviously, they use Vekoma for a lot of their rides at Disney. You can actually see a train that's on the coaster track there, some waterfalls and rock work, which looks gorgeous. And it kind of looks like this cavern, maybe a pathway round it, and you're looking down and the waterfalls are kind of cascading down with the coaster underneath. So it's really interesting. I mean, this piece of art is beautiful. It gives us an idea on what they want to create, and I think, you know, that this has come and all stemmed from Epic Universe, to be honest, and Disney really wanted to give them a run for the money. I mean, Epic Universe opens next year. One of the lands within that park, at this new Universal Park, is of course Dark Universe. This looks beautiful. It's based on the Universal Classic Monsters. You know, is this Disney wanting to get their piece on the pie with that? I certainly think it is. But the art looks amazing. I'd love to know your thoughts down below in the video comments. And of course, there's going to be more news coming out about this as we get closer to it. I mean, I'd like to see a model. We've only got this one piece of art and a logo at the moment. I'd love to see a full model in detail of what this is going to be like, and then you can see the pathways, the actual buildings. They've already said there's going to be restaurant and dining, of course, with it being a new land, and 2 major attractions. What would you put in? What coaster would you go for? I'd be intrigued to know. Let me know your thoughts down below in the video comments, and I'll be back in a few days' time with another news update talking about everything that's going on in this amazing industry at the moment. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy our channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, and that leaves me with one final thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. See you in the next video.